If you're feeling stuck on YouTube, you probably fall into one of two categories. Either you're the one that ran out of video ideas after 30 uploads, or you're the person that has 300 or 400 uploads that nobody's watching. Both have the same solution though. Here's what's actually happening. The creators who quit, the creators who run out of ideas, they've covered all the obvious topics in their niche, in their format, and have no system for generating more. And the ones that are still grinding and posting daily and all this other weird nonsense, they're posting the same type of content over and over. It's one-dimensional, it's forgettable, it's replaceable. Now, according to a Viral Nation study from earlier this year, 52% of creators are experiencing burnout right now. 37% of those creators are thinking about quitting completely. Because here's the deal, most creators are just winging it. They don't have a plan, they don't have a strategy. Just random videos uploaded every week or every day, expecting something to hit, waiting for something to work. But what if you could generate 40 video ideas in the next 5 minutes? And what if each one felt completely different while staying perfectly on brand for you? My main channel has over 300,000 subscribers, more than 21 million views. And after teaching content strategy since 2016, it's been a while, I've boiled it down to 4 essential types of content that you need to make you irreplaceable. I call this the shit system. S, solve problems. H, have opinions. I, illustrate with proof. And T, tell your story. Your content needs to be shit. All 4 types. Miss any of these, and you're just another forgettable channel out there. Now, according to data from TubeBuddy and vidIQ, creators who post with a system grow 2 to 5 times faster than those who post randomly. No big surprise there. And every random video that you post is training your audience to ignore you. And it's not just you. According to vidIQ's latest report, 60% of casual creators admit that they post completely randomly. No strategy, just survival. They're copying what worked for somebody else, hoping that it works for them. They're chasing trends that died last week. They're posting content that they don't even believe in. Or worse, they had one video blow up and now they're just feeling trapped because they're making the same video over and over and over again, trying to catch lightning in a bottle twice. The same title structure, the same thumbnail style, the same everything. They're too scared to evolve because what if it stops working? When in reality, it's not working. It only worked once. They're not growing, they're just recycling. Now, the truth is a little uncomfortable here, but there is a silver lining. You have a 1 in 57 chance of ever reaching 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And only 3% of all the creators on YouTube make 90% of YouTube's money. I see it as a silver lining because we could be part of that 3%. Here's the deal. Most people are completely replaceable. You have another tutorial channel, you have another review channel, you have another guy who makes videos about XYZ channel. Nothing unique, nothing memorable. And according to Viral Nation's research, 45% of new creators quit within their first year, most before they ever even hit 25 videos. 25! It's crazy to me. They either run out of ideas, they burn out chasing that one hit that kind of worked, or they just give up. But what if you had a system that generated unlimited ideas while making you irreplaceable? Well, that's exactly what I've been refining since 2017. Let me break down exactly how this works and exactly what I'm talking about. All right, let's start with S, which is solve problems. This is your how-to content, tutorials, reviews, guides. You guys know what I'm talking about. Content that fixes an immediate problem. An example of this would be 5-minute fix for XYZ, right? Or the $50 setup that beats the $5,000 setup. You guys have seen this a million times. This brings in viewers through search, which is so important here on YouTube. Now, H is have opinions, your unique perspective. Calling out the BS, maybe it's a controversial take, a hot take, a take that only you could share because of your experience. An example could be why everybody's wrong about XYZ, or in my case, the advice that's ruining your channel. This makes you memorable and it makes your content shareable. Now, next we move on to I, which is illustrate with proof. I'm talking real results, case studies, experiments, real data, evidence that backs up everything you say. An example of this would be 30 days later, actual results. Matt Diavella is a master at that type of video. $10,000 month, every detail revealed. This builds unshakable trust because you're pulling back the layers and showing that you're actually doing what you're saying you're doing. You're showing that you've done the research. You're showing that you're an actual practitioner and not just sharing opinions. Now, T is tell your story, your journey, your struggles, the behind the scenes, where you become more human. An example of this would be the day everything fell apart, or my $50,000 mistake, obviously within your world, within your niche. But here's the thing. This creates actual fans and not just subscribers. Now, they're connected with you and not just the concept of whatever you're talking about. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Adam, I don't teach anything. I don't have an education channel. This works for almost every niche, guys. Let me give you the whole 4-part breakdown for a car channel, for example. So solve problems, 5 mods that actually add horsepower, have opinions, why your dream car is a nightmare, illustrate with proof, $500 eBay Turbo, will it survive? Tell your story, the crash that changed everything for me. Or how about a vlog channel? Let's do that. So solve a problem. Edit like me in 10 minutes, have opinions. Instagram travel is all fake. Illustrate proof, 30 days in Bali, total cost revealed. Or tell your story, why I sold everything. Most creators get stuck in one area. They just solve problems or they just tell stories. That's why they plateau. That's why they're replaceable. But when you use all 4 elements together, you become essential to your viewer, unforgettable, impossible to copy. Here's the thing. Let me show you exactly how this works with another real-life example. Let's say that you run a fitness channel. Pick one topic. Let's say push-ups. Everybody knows what a push-up is. Here's how to turn that topic into 4 completely different videos. Let's start with solving a problem. Push-ups for people who can't do push-ups. This is searchable. People literally type this into YouTube every single day, guys. Now, let's talk about having opinions. Bench press is overrated. Here's why. This is shareable. This is juicy. This is something that people will send to their friends. Let's talk about illustrating proof. 1,000 push-ups in one day. What happened? This is credible. This builds trust. Let's talk about telling stories. I weighed 300 pounds and couldn't do a single push-up. This is relatable. This builds true connection, especially with those who can relate. It's the same topic, 4 different psychological triggers. Solving satisfies their logical brain, their need for a solution. Having opinions triggers their emotional brain. They want validation. Illustrating claims calms their skeptical brain, their cynical brain. They need evidence, right? That's their logical side coming out. Telling stories connects with their social brain. They crave relationships. And if you could do all 4, man, it is so powerful. And here's why it's a game changer. You took one topic and made 4 unique videos that aren't overly repetitive, yet they serve your audience at a whole different level. This is how you never run out of content because guess what? You have more than one topic that you talk about. So take your top 10 core topics. That was a tongue twister. Create 4 videos for each of them as I broke down. Follow the shit system. That's 40 videos, guys. If you post just once a week, then you've planned for almost a year. Think about that. If you post twice a week, that's 5 months worth of content. You just solved your entire content calendar in 10 minutes. And like I said, 45% of creators quit before they ever hit 25 videos because they think they've run out of ideas. You just created 40 watching this video, and you could probably keep going all day with the same system. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but Adam, what are my 10 core topics? So here's exactly how to find them. I want you guys to open up a document right now. It could be your notes app on your phone, a Google Doc. Seriously, pause this video if you have to do it too, right? So answer these questions. What do people always ask me about? What mistakes do I see everybody making? What did I wish I knew when I started? What makes me angry in my niche? What tools do I use every single day? If you just answer those 5 questions alone, you'll have 10 topics pretty much instantly, probably closer to 20. Now, let's implement this system. All right, step 1, take those 10 topics that you just found. Step 2, create 4 titles for each using this framework. That's 40 videos, done. Step 3, post in rotation. I'm talking about your first upload, solve a problem, content for searchability. The next upload, have an opinion, content for shareability. Next, illustrate proof, content for credibility. And next, tell your story, content for loyalty. Rinse and repeat. After 8 weeks, I want you guys to check your analytics by type. Which type has gotten more views? Which is driving more subscribers? Which is keeping people watching? Maybe problem solving gets views, but opinions get subscribers for you. Perfect. Adjust your ratio. You're optimizing based on the data, not guessing here. And speaking of not guessing, I put everything that you guys need in my ultimate YouTube growth guide, which is a perfect companion to all these videos here on my channel, and it's totally free. More than 2,500 of you guys have downloaded this just in the past few weeks, and the feedback has been incredible, so thank you. And if you want to take your channel to the next level, click the link in the description, download the guide, and enjoy. Now, here's exactly what happens when you implement this system. YouTube's algorithm finally understands your channel. It knows exactly who to recommend your videos to because you're consistent without being overly repetitive. Your subscribers know that there's value here. but not exactly what's coming next. They're engaged, they're excited, they're actually watching multiple videos per session because it's all fresh going from one to another. But here's the real transformation. You stop being a creator and you become a brand. You become a system, right? I spent 8 years posting randomly. It took me 8 years to hit 50,000 subscribers, and they were all disjointed. And I was making maybe, I don't know, $500 a month. After implementing this framework, building it out and getting very disciplined, I added 150,000 subscribers in just under 18 months. Revenue went from like $500 to about $5,000 a month. And this new channel that you're watching right now has less than 25 videos, and it already has over 15,000 subscribers, more than 350,000 views as of recording this. In fact, the video that you're watching right now is my 25th video. Remember, 45% of creators quit before they even get to this point, and only 1 in 57 ever hit 10,000 subscribers. The difference? I'm not guessing anymore. I have a system that works. Now let me make something abundantly clear for those of you still watching this video. This isn't luck. You becoming successful on YouTube is not luck. It takes a strategy. It takes a system. Your repetition builds your reputation. So you're either a content creator out there who has a system, or you're just another person that has an expensive hobby and a fancy camera. This framework is what separates channels that scale, the channels that are in that 3%, making the 90%, from the channels that get lost in the mix and never finding traction. Speaking of traction, watch this video next if you're serious about taking your channel to the next level. If you haven't yet, click that little subscribe button to join the channel family here. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments, and any questions that you have, I'd love to answer those in future videos. Until next time, guys, I appreciate you watching.